Hi everyone, it's Professor Stevens and it's week 5, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to just very briefly demonstrate the Excel assignment in case you're just sort of wondering about getting started. This is our class, CIS 354. I'm going to go ahead and click on week 5 in the navigation panel on the left hand side, and week 5 will come up, and we could scroll down to the bottom of the page. And here is assignment 2 Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to left click on that to open that. You'll see that it's worth 130 points, and it's due at the end of this week. There's a couple things just to note before we start, and let's make sure that we're looking at the rubric first. How is this assignment going to be graded? We're going to click on View Rubric, and you can see that our assignment is to select 3 hospitals in our area and then compare them on the criteria of emergency service, hospital type, number of beds, number of stars for patient experience, and their ranking in U.S. News and World Report on cardiology and geriatrics. So as long as we thoroughly select and compare the information that we're being asked for, then we will be able to meet this assignment at the exemplary level. So now we know what we're doing. We have 2 links here. We have the link for usnews.com Best Hospitals. We also have a link for Hospital Compare. Both of these links are very helpful. There are additional links as well. These 2 should be just fine for completing this assignment. I used the 2 links, and what I did was I created an Excel spreadsheet. Before I created the spreadsheet, I sort of did a little bit of planning, and I found the 3 hospitals in my area, and I set up my criteria using these 6 items. So what I did was I created a Word worksheet that looks like this. I reminded myself of the assignment. Select 3 hospitals in your area and compare them using the following criteria in a format that leadership can utilize to make an informed decision. And here are the 6 types. The 3 hospitals in the area that I chose for my area here is the Reston Hospital Center, the Washington Hospital Center, and the Virginia Hospital Center. And I did a little bit of digging. I had to go back and forth a little bit, but I set up this chart right here in my Word document. And to do that, what I did was I just clicked on my document. After I made a new document, I inserted a table. And you can see that when I add the table, I want 4 columns and 7 rows. So I want 7 rows and 4 columns. 4, there we go, 4 by 7 rows by columns, and I click on that, and so that's how I made my table. And then I took my criteria, I put it on the left side, and then I took the 3 that I was comparing and I put them across the top. So I just entered those in. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this by selecting the table using that crosshair and deleting it using the keyboard delete button. I collected the information that I wanted, and now I'm ready to go to Excel. So to take this table into Excel, I select this table again, and I copy it. Now I can use my crosshairs and get the entire table. I can use Control on the keyboard. I hold it down, and I tap the letter C as in Charlie 1 time, and I have copied this to the clipboard in Word. And then I'm going to go to Excel, and I'm going to open up Excel, and I'm going to paste it in. So I've pasted it in here. You'll see there's tabs here on the bottom. This is my Sheet 1 tab and my Assignment tab. If there's something here already, I could go to my plus and make a new blank sheet if I wanted, but this is what I'm working on, and I just went ahead and pasted. After I pasted it in, I moved it around a little bit, and I sort of highlighted the outside row and column so I could sort of get an idea of what it was that I was working with. So if I just wanted to highlight the 2 that I didn't get colored here, what I can do is I can just use my paint bucket, and I can go and I can paint bucket down here like so if I want to, like that. And so then here is the rows and columns. Now you'll notice that there's emergency service for the three. There was no emergency department listed for Washington Hospital. The hospital type, number of beds are fairly easy to compare. But for patient experience, the list that I found, there was a definitely recommended, a probably recommended, and a not recommended. So I had to break this into 3 pieces for each of the 3 hospitals I was looking at. And then the U.S. News and World Report, that's been broken down into 2 pieces, the cardiology and the geriatrics. So you can see the numbers for those as well. So here we go. We're going to do a little bit of charting in Excel. One of the best practices for using Excel is to always open it and then save it immediately. File, save as. I'm going to put this on my computer. I could put it on my OneDrive up in the cloud, or I could put it into a different drive. But right now I just want to use the desktop since that's my workspace, and that's how I want to create this assignment. And I just say save. And I did it already. There we go. Okay, so it's saved and it's charted and I have my information. So the first thing I want to do is I want to look at the number of beds, because really I'm comparing 3 hospitals and I want to know of the 3, what does that look like in terms of number of beds. You'll see this is a little quick analysis. If I left click on the quick analysis, I can left click on charts and I can compare these. I get a nice pie chart or a line chart. The pie chart for me makes the most sense right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick the pie chart. I'm going to go to my lower right hand corner. You see I get the double arrow. I'm going to hold the control key down, top right corner. Hold the control key down and just shrink that a little bit to sort of resize it so I get something that sort of looks nice on the page, and I like the way that looks. Now it says number of beds, and that's my title. I want to bold that, let's say, so I'll bold that title. And I have the 3 hospitals. You can see the one hospital here has way more beds than the other 2. Which one is that? Well, I want to know that. So I'm going to go to this little filter guy here, my chart filter. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the data for this label right here. And I'm going to choose select data. It lists 1, 2, 3, 4, but I really don't want 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to edit that. And my range is going to be like that. Reston, Washington, and Virginia. Okay, I'm going to say okay to that, and I'm going to say okay to that. And there's my 3. And I think I got that 4th one because I selected that, which I really didn't want to do. But here's the 3 and the number of beds and the nice pie chart. The next thing I want to chart is patient experience. And so let's start doing it by definitely, probably, and not recommended. And it won't be a pie chart this time because we have 3 sections for each piece. We're going to go back to charts, and most likely this should be some sort of stacked or cluster chart. So let's go to the cluster charts and do something like that. Again, we'll move it here and then we'll just sort of resize it just a little bit so that it fits into our document. And definitely recommended, probably recommended, and not recommended. We have, again, we have 3 hospitals, so we want to change this 1, 2, 3, which we can do. And remember, we use the filter here. We left click on filter, and we want to select the data to be replaced. It's not going to have the 1, 2, 3, but instead the name. So we edit that. We choose our range again, and we say OK. And then we just apply that. Then OK. So here's the 3 hospitals and what they look like for recommend. You can see that Virginia is recommended way higher than Washington or Reston. And the chart title, this is going to be called patient, double click on that chart title to get it. And this is called patient experience here. Can't seem to get selected here. There we go. Patient experience. And so you can see the 3 for the hospital like that. Now we'll go ahead and bold that to make that kind of uniform. And so we've got 2 charts. We've got number of beds and patient experience. Let's do this last one. This last one's going to be another chart. You can see here. I'm going to have a U.S. News and World Report chart, and I'm going to have two things, cardiology and geriatrics. Now, with my Reston Hospital, I didn't really have any. I couldn't find the number for cardiology. It might have been there, I just missed it. But because I didn't report anything, I put a 0, just so that I'd have a number there that I can use in my charting. And this might be a personal preference. You might want NA, but I put 0 just because it made sense to me to do it that way. So again, same thing. Probably want another stacked chart for this one. And go to my charts and a clustered chart for this one. And you can see cardiology and geriatrics, how they rank. I'll just put it here and hold my control key down so I can uniformly get this. And it takes just a couple clicks to get it. Hold control down. Can't quite get it. Sorry, this takes a little bit of resizing. And it takes a little bit, it takes a little bit in Excel just to get it to work right. So here we go. We want to change this to select data, and we want to edit it, and we want this range. So we say OK. Yes, that's what we wanted. And we say OK. So here's our 3. Cardiology and geriatrics are being compared, and this is U.S. News and World Report. Okay, nice and simple, easy to understand the charts here. And what we can do is, if we just want to look at a different chart type, we can sort of right click on our chart and look to see what some of them might look like maybe this one. This one sort of looks interesting. What if we tried this one instead? And then we want something kind of different, so let's take a look at this one and right click and change chart type. And do we want, at this point you're just sort of playing with it to get an idea of which one you want. So I'm choosing and left clicking just to maybe get a 3D aspect to it if that's what looks interesting to you. So I right click again, change chart type, and do I want something that's 3D? Yes, probably I do. Or a donut would be kind of cool too. So if I could say I want the donut here. Number of beds, patient experience, and U.S. News and World Report. Oh, I meant to mention, anytime you list your data, you always want to make sure that it has a year associated with it, 2013 and 2014. So please note that this title would not be correct without the year, so that you know when this information was collected. So patient experience, now this patient experience, I'm sorry, here, but I want to include the date here, and this is 2015, and number of beds is current as of 2015 as well. 2015, okay. So this is our document. It says assignment. This is what we're going to turn in. I wanted to call your attention here to the tops and to the rows. One thing, you see how this is the A column, and then right to the A, if I just move my mouse a little to the right, I get the crosshair. If I double click on that crosshair, I can move these so that they're auto-fitted. We're auto-fitting if we need to. So just in case you weren't aware of auto-fitting, that's a neat way to auto-fit. If you want to auto-fit the entire document, you select this top left corner, and you can auto-fit that like that as well. And the whole thing gets done at one time. So very clean, very nice. Now I grab and I move this over a little bit. And again, this is personal preference and cleanup really that we're doing because we have something to turn in. Now, and here we go. We've used Excel to do it. Gee, that looks really... And what if we move this one down here? Try to bring it right to that corner. Okay. So different ways to look at the charting, different information. Alternately, if we for some reason, let's say that our assignment was to paste. We can paste it to another page if we like, and then this other page could be the charts, if that's something that looks interesting to us as well. So we can just grab the entire chart with the top left corner and just line them up here. And one more. Control C and click and Control V. So three neat charts, or the whole assignment altogether. Or another way to show sort of the same thing again with different options for charts. So there you have it. Just a very quick and brief overview. File, save as on the desktop. We've already sort of put it there, but we're just going to save it. And yes, we do want to save over it this time. And we're going to go ahead and close it. And again, this is my Word document that I started with. You can see here's the information. I put the links so I could use them off of the document. And just briefly, if I want to demonstrate that as well, Reston Hospital Center. If I want to turn this into a link on my Word document, I would highlight it, and then I would retrieve the Reston Hospital link, which is right here, and take it off the URL by selecting that line. Control C is in Charlie. Go back to my Word document with it highlighted. I'm going to go to Insert and add a hyperlink with the address that I just copied. I'm going to paste it in, and here's the text that's going to be pasted on too. And I'm going to say OK. So now you can see that's how you would add a link to the Reston Hospital. Here's the one we just made. If I control click, it will take me to that website. You can see it's active. All right. I'm going to save this just for my own record keeping. I'm going to close that, and then back to the assignment to turn it in, and assignment to Excel spreadsheet. I'm on the page to submit it. So I browse my computer. NCIS 354 Excel assignment, but what I want is this one, the one that says Excel. This one right here that we just saved, and open it. And when it goes in like that, you can submit it. And there you go. It's done. Turned in. Thank you, everyone. Talk to you later.